Hello peeps, this is Tango and welcome back to Tango's World Effects. I know it's been a while. I was traveling. I was traveling, so I was busy. The next chapter of the Verdant Analyst came out a few days ago, like 2 days ago? Wait. What day was this? Yeah, 2 days ago. I just got back. I'm actually tomorrow I have a friend who's going to be staying with me for a while, and I don't know if I'll be able to record with her here. She's like visiting. She moved away. So for the next few days, I might also not be able to record, so this might be the only thing I'm posting for the next like week or so. But I promise as soon as I can, I'm going to post more because I want to, you know? I thought I was going to have more time this summer to like get a better like schedule and record a lot of stuff, so I had it, but that didn't end up working out. So anyways, let's get right into the chapter. This is the Verdant Analyst by Tango123MP, chapter 24, Incoming OP or OP. I don't know. Okay. Summary. Reaction to all the messages. Thank you to all of those who let me use their OCs. I am so happy. Sorry if I made mistakes or did something wrong. Notes. Sorry for the wait. Oh yeah, so I'm not sure, I think 1 or 2 people from YouTube ended up contacting Tango about writer Tango. I'm Tango, but they are also Tango. We're friends, okay. And I think they got their OCs in here, but I'm not sure. We'll see. Anyways, let's get into the chapter. Sorry for the long intro. Okay. Incoming OP, Shia Hisaikai. The message was sent to the Vigilante Discord. Saku sat cross-legged on her bed, headphones in, watching a video of an eagle diving for prey in slow motion. Her sketchbook lay open beside her, filled with half-drawn diagrams of wings, claws, and tail musculature, all practicing for shifting. Her phone buzzed. She blinked down at it. Incoming op, Shia Hisaikai. Big raid. Heroes are in. We're going in too. Need extra eyes, force, and anyone else. If you're willing, meet at ### something. Okay. On September 10th at 12:30 p.m. Discretion is mandatory. Watch the streets and the skies. From the Ducklings. Her breath caught in her throat. She reread the message twice, fingers frozen above the screen. It was real now. Not practice, not imagining. A real raid. Real danger, real people. She chewed her lip, tail flicking out and coiling around one of her legs. They were tiger, this time. Protective reflex. It was normal. Her thumb hovered over the screen, then shakily she sent back a thumbs-up emoji. That was all she could manage. She curled up against her blanket, tail wrapping tighter. I don't have to be brave the whole time, she whispered to herself. Just long enough, right? Violet was perched in the back of her truck, legs hanging off the edge, a worn music player in her lap. A pair of old earbuds dangled from her ears as a mellow tune played, barely audible over the sound of traffic behind the cafe. She was halfway through sorting a new shipment of coffee beans when her phone buzzed once, twice, then with a triple ping. She paused, lifting the phone. The screen lit up with a message on the encrypted Vigilante server. Incoming op, Shia Hisaikai. Big raid, heroes are in. We're going in too. Need extra eyes, force, and anyone else. If you're willing, meet at ## on September 10th at 12:30 p.m. Discretion is mandatory. Watch the streets and the skies. From the Ducklings. Her music faded out as her breath caught. Her hands trembled slightly as she read it again, slower this time. Shia Hisaikai. She didn't need to scroll for details. Just the name made her stomach twist. Her hand moved on instinct, brushing over her mask's sleek violet trimmed with the voice modulator nestled beneath. A second later, she tapped her response into the group chat with 2 fingers. Count me in. Time to clip some wings. Blackheart. A beat. Then she opened her contacts and pulled up a recording of a soft whistle with 3 distinct notes. Little unicorn, she whispered under her breath. We're gonna get you out. The smile she wore wasn't sweet. It was steel. Blood Moon perched silently on the edge of a rusted fire escape, the city's restless glow casting long shadows beneath her. Her black gloves flexed around the small phone screen, the message from the ducklings blinking softly. Incoming op. Shia Hisaikai. Big raid. Heroes are in. We're going in too. Need extra eyes, force, and anyone else. If you're willing, meet at ## on September 10th at 12:30 p.m. Discretion is mandatory. Watch the streets and the skies. From the ducklings. Edison's mismatched eyes flicked up briefly, staring into the darkened streets below. The Shia Hisaikai. The name alone twisted her stomach into a familiar knot. And she knew what they did. She'd run, fought tooth and nail to escape from their grasp as a child. That nightmare still shadowed her every step. The message was signed The Ducklings. She recognized the names of some of those faces that she'd seen before in the encrypted vigilante channels, voices in the chaos of the city's underground, names she didn't know well, never met, but once she'd come to respect. She tapped her lip with a fingered glove, an involuntary twitch of sarcasm brushing her expression. Look at them, calling themselves a duck gang, she muttered quietly. Cute. If they want to take on the Shia, they're gonna need more than cute nicknames. Her fingers hovered over the screen, hesitant. Joining the group like that was no small commitment. She wasn't one for trusting others, especially strangers. Still, this wasn't just about her. If they were after the same target, maybe this was the break that she'd been waiting for. Blood Moon pulled out a small, battered notebook from her pocket, scribbling a quick note in sharp, precise handwriting. I'm in. Send coordinates and protocols. She stuck the note in her pocket, eyes scanning the horizon as she faded back into the shadows. This raid wasn't just a fight, it was a chance to finally face the ghost she'd run from for years. The soft hum of pink neon reflected off the walls of the cramped room where Pretty Cute Heart sat cross-legged on the floor. She was surrounded by an organized chaos of gadgets and medical supplies. She absent-mindedly clicked a small pink hair clip between her fingers, a tracker that she had just finished charging. Her face mask hid most of her expression, but her sharp eyes flicked towards the screen as the encrypted message buzzed in. Incoming op. Shia Hisaikai. Big raid. Heroes are in. We're going in too. Need extra eyes, force, and anyone else. If you're willing, meet at ## on September 10th at 12:30 p.m. Discretion mandatory. Watch the streets and the skies. From the ducklings. She bit her lip thoughtfully, then her gaze flicked towards a row of pink-painted weapons lined neatly across the edge of her desk. Bats, knives, and even a modified taser are all ready to go. But it wasn't just a fight. It was a rescue mission. And that made her heart tighten. Pretty Cute Heart's fingers brushed across the pink purse at her side. Percy, as she fondly called it, where she kept her bandages, syringes, and a small medkit. Gotta be ready for anything, she whispered fiercely, a soft, motherly edge sharpening into determination. Her mind raced through possibilities. Who would need patching up? Who would be caught out and vulnerable? If things went south, she'd be there swift, aggressive, and protective. With a gentle tap on her phone screen, she replied in a quick, concise text. Count me in. We'll bring backup med supplies. Need details on possible injuries expected. Then, with a decisive nod, she stood up, adjusting her knee pads and slinging Percy over her shoulder. Pink tracker clips would be distributed soon as her little way to keep tabs on the team, even if they weren't all in the same place yet. We're gonna get through this, she murmured to herself. No one's getting left behind. Rocio balanced a heavy basket with fresh vegetables and canned goods in one hand, the other scrolling through her phone as she waited in line at the grocery store. Her blue and brown jacket was casually draped over one shoulder, horns faintly glistening as a subtle sign of her water reserves that were running low from a long day. The message popped up, glowing in her hand. Incoming op. Shia Hisaikai. Big raid. Heroes are in. We're going in too. Need extra eyes, force, and anyone else. If you're willing, meet at hashtag on September 10th at 12:30 p.m. Discretion mandatory. Watch the streets and the skies. From the Ducklings. Her lips twitched into a smile as she flicked her gaze up to the bored cashier, then back to the screen. Another gang playing hero, she thought. Voice sharp but hidden with a casual tone beneath. Cute, she muttered quietly, almost amused. The dryness on her skin itched slightly, but she ignored it, focusing on the bigger picture. She tapped out a quick reply with one hand, careful not to drop the basket. Count me in. Send details. I don't do surprises. She tossed a few bills onto the counter, collected her groceries, and slipped out the door, her mask settling firmly back in place. Charismatic and unreadable, as always, and ready to play the part. Glimmer was curled up on the rooftop ledge, her dark blue hood pulled low over her strawberry blonde hair that looked brown under the moonlight. The bright yellow boots dangled over the edge, catching faint glints of street lamps below. Her fingers fiddled with the star necklace that always gave her a little bit of comfort. Her phone buzzed, and the screen lit up her pale face in the quiet night. She blinked, and then grinned wide, maroon lipstick stretching into a smile. Incoming up, Shia Hisakai. Big raid, heroes are in. We're going in too. Need extra eyes, force, and anyone else. If you're willing, meet at hashtag on September 10th at 12:30 p.m. Discretion mandatory. Watch the streets and the skies. From the Ducklings. Okay, this is it, she whispered excitedly to herself, voice light and bright. The thrill of a real raid buzzing in her veins. The chance to actually do something big. She bounced lightly on her toes, feeling the heat of her quirk gently warming the air around her. Ambush, speed, surprise. She was ready. There was no time to just be a kid tonight. Tapping a quick reply with a confident grin, she added a little spark of enthusiasm. I'm there. Let's shake things up. Her eyes flicked towards the dark streets below, and this time it wouldn't be just a game. Kit leaned back against the graffiti-covered wall of the alley, their fingers idly tracing the patterns on the cracked concrete. Lavender lounged nearby, flipping a pocket knife between her fingers, eyes sharp beneath her messy lilac hair. Kit's phone buzzed. They pulled it out, the glow illuminating their smirking face under the gas mask hanging loose around their neck. Incoming op. Shia Hisakai. Big raid. Heroes are in. We're going in too. Need extra eyes, force, and anyone else. If you're willing, meet at hashtag on September 10th at 12:30 p.m. Discretion mandatory. Watch the streets and the skies. From the Ducklings. Kit's grin grew wider as they tapped a quick reply. Count me in. I'm good at hiding and worse at being seen. They looked over at Lavender, eyes gleaming behind the mask. Hey, you come into this raid that your sister's gang organized? The teasing was casual but sharp. Lavender smirked, flicking the knife closed with a click. Might depends if it's worth the hassle. She paused, then nodded. Besides, wouldn't want to miss watching you crash the party. Kit chuckled softly, the thrill of the upcoming chaos settling between them. Oh, it'll be a show, all right. The faint hum of the city was muffled beneath the thick hood of Azure's jacket. Their fingers were wrapped tightly around the edges of their phones, eyes scanning the text with practiced calm. Incoming up. Shia Hisakai. Big raid. Heroes are in. We're going in too. Need extra eyes, force, and anyone else. If you're willing, meet at hashtag on September 10th at 12:30 p.m. Discretion mandatory. Watch the streets and the skies. From the Ducklings. Azure's thumb hovered for a moment before sending a brief confirmation. I'll be there. They slipped their phone into their pocket and pulled their hood tighter, casting a glance towards the shadows where a few passing figures hurried by. A flash of concern crossed their usually impassive face, not for themselves, but for those who might get hurt. Azure flexed their fingers, feeling the cool moisture they could conjure under their skin. They wouldn't be on the front lines. That wasn't their style. But if anyone they cared about was in danger, they'd move like lightning to protect. No one needed to know. They preferred it that way. Sombra's eyes flicked to the glowing screen, shadows pooling beneath them. The message was blunt and to a call of arms, the kind that she'd been dodging but couldn't ignore forever. Incoming op. Shia Hisaikai. Big raid. Heroes are in. We're going in too. Need extra eyes, force, and anyone else. If you're willing to meet at ## on September 10th at 12:30 p.m. Discretion mandatory. Watch the streets and the skies. From the Ducklings. Her fingers hovered, and then she typed out a terse reply. I'll be there. She put the phone down and let the silence wrap around her like a cloak. The game was changing. Heroes were pushing harder, and the streets were about to burn brighter than ever. Sombra didn't do loyalty. She did survival. But tonight, maybe survival meant something different. She glanced towards the crack window, those city lights flickering like distant fireflies. Time to move. Silver stood in the narrow hallway of his apartment building, the fluorescent lights above flickering. He had just returned from his night patrol after another petty robbery that he stopped. Another civilian ushered home safely as well. He unstrapped his silver-plated shoulder guard with a sigh. The weight of the armor symbolic of the burden that he'd chosen. His flip phone buzzed in his utility belt, old-school tech that he'd stubbornly clung onto. He flipped it open with a clack. Incoming op. Shia Hisaikai. Big raid. Heroes are in. We're going in too. Need extra eyes, force, and anyone else. If you're willing to meet at ## on September 10th at 12:30 p.m. Discretion mandatory. Watch the streets and the skies. From the Ducklings. Silver furrowed his brow at the name. The Ducklings? He muttered, raising an eyebrow. He didn't recognize it, but the words Shia Hisaikai made his blood run cold. That group had no honor, no sense of justice. He had investigated whispers of their actions once, but only found silence and shattered glass. The message stirred something in him, a heat of duty burning into his ribs. He looked down at his arms, the bracers still scratched from tonight's scuffle. With a slow breath, he reached down for the polishing rag near the sink and started scrubbing. A smirk tugged at the corner of his lips. Discretion mandatory. He could do discretion. He could also turn steel pipes into silver spears if anything got ugly. All right, Ducklings, he said to no one. Let's see what you're made of. He tucked his phone into his belt. The soft hum of half-broken fan filled the dim room as Astral blinked at his second-hand laptop. A cracked mug of black coffee was going to be cold soon beside him. He rubbed his temples. The message lit up in the corner of his screen, tucked between junk pings and flagged traffic from random heroes and chatboards. It was sent through an encrypted vigilante server, the same one he usually muted. Incoming op. Shia Hisaikai. Big raid. Heroes are in. We're going in too. Need extra eyes, force, and anyone else. If you're willing, meet at ## on September 10th at 12:30 p.m. Discretion mandatory. Watch the streets and the skies. From the Ducklings. The Ducklings. Seriously? He muttered out loud, pushing his chair back with a loud scrape. He scrolled up to confirm what he had already suspected. A dozen usernames, almost all obviously underage. Why are they all kids, and mostly girls? Astral scowled, his hands already flying across the keyboard as he backtraced the message. He used his quirk to look into those who had responded on the server, just enough to check the sources, though not enough to freak them out. He respected boundaries when he felt like it. He sighed. Of course they're taking on the Hisaikai. Of course. He leaned back in his chair and stared at the ceiling, jaw clenched. Gonna get themselves killed. He opened the reply window, cracked his knuckles, and started typing. Yo, Astral here. Appreciate the invite, but I'm not running into a death trap with a bunch of high schoolers. No offense, you seem competent, but also reckless. I've got eyes on the area already, and I'll monitor cams and security traffic where I can. If it gets bad, I'll patch in and do what I can remotely. Cut some locks, kill a power grid or something, but that's it. You're all flying too close to the sun. Don't burn out before you hit your 20s. Astral. He hit send, then closed the tab before he could second-guess it. The raid was happening, with or without him. And the heroes? At least some of them would be watching. Izuku checked the Discord. 11 of the 32 people on the server had responded to the message, and the majority of them were joining the raid. This, of course, made him happy, and he continued setting up his own room with a wide grin. his new room with a wide grin. This raid was going to be challenging, something bigger than many of the things that Izuku had come across while being a part of the Ducklings. And Izuku, well, he wasn't really sure how to feel about all this, but he did know one thing. They're going to get that girl back, no matter what the cost. Notes. I'm starting to love motivation on this fic, to be honest. I think it meant lose. But it says love. Okay. But I will not leave you guys with an unfinished ending, so don't worry. Just know that this may or may not be one of the last arcs. Sad face. Oh. I think it's... Okay, I like this fic, though. I don't think it's that bad. I don't think it's bad, period. Anyways, I don't know who here has their OCs in it, but if you do, like, comment down below and tell us what you thought of hearing your OC being in this, and what you thought of how they were portrayed, or like let me know your thoughts about this chapter. It's really interesting when creators like put in people's OCs, because they don't know, like, obviously when you make an OC you have an idea in mind, but when you tell someone else about your OC, then they have a different idea. It's like everyone's perspective is different. Just like how all these fics, like, different people making different stories because they think, oh, what if it went this way? Another person's like, oh, I could see it more like this, you know? Everyone has their opinions. And so it's really cool just to see everyone's, like, different characters being portrayed. Also, I'm, like, super tired right now. I think it's actually, like, 12 for me right now because it's, like, time change. Even though the time says, like, 10. Or maybe, like, 1. I'm an early bird, so I like to go to bed early anyways. So, like, 12 is kind of... Okay, 12 isn't that bad. That's, like, later than I'd like to be going to bed, though. So, my voice is kind of, like, tired-y sounding-ish. Anyways, I'm really hoping you guys enjoyed that chapter. I can't wait for the next one. Don't know when we're gonna get another update. Hopefully soon. Yeah, I think there was like about a month or 2 months in between that chapter and the one before. Yeah. So I really hope that we get some more. I mean, it sounds like the creator is just losing some motivation on the fic. I don't know why, but I can probably ask because I'm like friends with the creator. Kind of friends. I don't know. We chat sometimes on Discord. It's nice. It's funny. Anyways, they keep, so Tango keeps trying to, well, not me, Tango, writer Tango. Writer Tango keeps trying to steal my identity on the Discord server that I have for, so Tango's World of Fics, like that server that I made. And it's so funny, but, I had to, like, give them their own, what's it called? Role, their own role. So it's Writer Tango and then, Reader Tango or something like that. I forget. Let me look. Discord. Who is this? Oh. Whoa. Okay, let's see. Tango's World of Fics. People. Oh, okay. Yeah. Wait. How do I see this? Sorry. I'm sorry. Like, this is like, yeah. So the Tango, the writer, and then let's look at me. Good. Hi. I'm not online very often, just so you know. And then it says Tango, the podfic. That's right. Okay, that's great. Well, yeah, anyways, let me know what you thought of this chapter and your like, reactions. I feel like I'm stealing other people's outros. Anyways, thank you so much for listening, peeps. This is Tango signing off. Bye.